one thing that I want you to talk about is I think that you're one of the best at collaborating with others. And I feel that it doesn't matter if you're a mixer, if you're alcohol, like we should all play well with one another because to your point, you don't know where you're going to be. And this is again, if you're a supplier, great. If you're a distributor, great. But also to bartenders because when we're behind the bar and listen, bro, you know what I'm talking about. I will say that I am the first one to call myself out. There was a lot of brands that when I was a young bartender, I did not like, I did not enjoy personally because, it wasn't up to my palate, right? But I could have done a much better job communicating that without trashing them, right? And, luckily for me, it was more of like on the job kind of thing. I didn't like, post or anything, which, probably the smartest thing I could have done. But, I haven't worked for those brands. I will say that. But, you never know like where you're going to be at. So I think that, not only as suppliers, as people in the industry, you should never talk down about any brand or any person. Two, as a bartender, like just know that there's a time and a place for that brand, right? Like if it doesn't fit your craft cocktail program, that doesn't mean that, the dive bar, that there's always a time and a place. Those brands were created for a specific demographic. You just happen to not be that demographic. Yeah. So one thing that you do very well is, I think it's, from your networking and relationship building that you play with every brand because you know that your product fits with, most right now, premiumization is not even a thing anymore. It's just reality. Yeah. Like that's just what everything is. Mm-hmm. So I think that, by following that strategy, I mean, you fit well with 90% of brands out there, if not more. Mm-hmm. So what's your train of thought on like collaborating and how is it that I think you either approach those partnerships and what made you think that way? Because it's really outside the box, very, very common sense, but I feel like it's not executed just like you are.
Yeah, I think the main thing is just do it organically. I walk in, I'll talk to a bar that's heavy, strong in brand A.
Right.
And pitch my mixer to it and look, we can do this, we can elevate to this. And fortunately, the company I work for has a wide variety that we can play with everybody there.
Correct, yeah.
And, instead of just always working with one brand only and having all your wins with one brand, the way I look at it is I'll work with every brand. I'll work with everybody because my product helps sell their product. Their product helps sell my product. So why 100%. Not come in strength in numbers? I mean, you can do a great job by yourself, but if you have everyone else working with you and knowing that if you went out and you were pitching something with me, my brand, mm-hmm. I would go and back it up 100%.
Right.
And so now you have two people out here working on your stuff instead of just you hustling around.
Yeah.
And even for me, my way it happens, I have suppliers running out there calling me like, hey, we're pitching you here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We're pitching you here. And I even sat back with a couple of them and said, I appreciate everything you're doing. What I owe you. I said, nothing. It was just because you came to support every one of my events, regardless if the bar had your product or not. You came in, shook hands. You were there to support me every which way possible.
Right.
Our brands make sense. I'm going to pitch you everywhere I can because your network and my network combined is just double.
100%. And I mean, to this day, I have not heard of anyone being upset at you for working with others. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you do it in such organic and genuine way that we all understand that, like, that's what, honestly, I mean, I think if we were all in your shoes, we'd do the same.
100%.
I mean, because that's the only way or, the best way for you to grow with others, So, I mean, and what was it like? I mean, is that just a natural sort of, way of thinking of yours to, attach yourself and your brand to other up and coming whether they're struggling, up and coming, small, big? I mean, you work with everyone.
Yeah. Going back to what we talked about way back, Sam, I've had people with these massive global brands come up to me and, we want to work with you personally.
Right.
Cool. Thanks. And we're doing that, and you get your wins everywhere. Then you have these people with these small and upcoming brands that you do a little partnership with them. You help them get on the menu here,
Sure.
help sell their product. They bend over backwards for you, and next thing
Right.
you know, they're calling you from Wyoming.
Right.
We're pitching you here. We're pitching you here. Can you get me in touch with someone from your company over here? And I just think it's the smart thing to do. As us growing up, I think this new generation coming into this industry has to remember, keep your network big.
Right.
You never know, man. So many people out here, I've managed some bartenders, barbacks, porters even saying, don't burn a bridge. You're cussing out this bartender. Don't
Right.
burn a bridge. This guy wants to be a manager, and one day he's going to be your manager.
Yeah.
If you want to go this route,
Right.
learn. I mean, you can always learn more. You don't know everything, right? And someone will always teach you more. And I think being humble is one of the biggest things people should remember out here. No one's better than anybody.
Right.
And I think I'll walk in that way. I have the utmost respect for everybody in this industry. But I'm also humble. I'm not saying, hey, I'm the best. I don't
Right.
walk around cocky. It's just worked in my benefit, every
Do you
person
think
out
that's
here.
something that you constantly practice, or is that something that just it's a natural sort of like because again, going back to myself, right? Because I could only put that experience onto myself. I am the best person or the person I know the most.
Mhm.
I feel like when I was up and coming, I feel like it's a very I want to prove myself.
Mhm.
I want to do this. I want to win this. I want to. And now it's like, no. Like, how can we help each other? So I think it's would you say it's an age thing, or would you what do you think?
I think it's just being able to look in the mirror and say, look, man, some people, we're not going to like everybody, but we have to play nice with them, because in the end of the day, we're all in the same business. End of the day,
100%.
we're here to do the same thing, push our brands, make the guest experience that much better, and, have these decision makers rely on us as partners, I just think it's something that they should practice. Everyone should practice every day, just building
Yeah.
these organic relationships. I mean, it's fun, what's it going to hurt you to know more people?
No, not at all.
Nothing,
Yeah, exactly. And again, to your point, the bartenders of today are the F&B directors of tomorrow.
Exactly.
I mean, that's we all want to grow. We all want to continue growing as professionals and as people. And there's a lot of talent out there. There's a lot of people that are on their way out. That are continuing to retire. And so, I mean, I agree 100%. Is there something that you feel you would have taught yourself if you could go back in time and you can teach yourself something that again, you wish somebody would have taught you? What would that be?
Almost the same thing that we talked about earlier. Even it's being patient. Things will come in time. You can't rush anything. I kind of learned that in the latter part of my career, bartending. I'm like, okay, I want to be this. How come it's not happening?
Right.
I want to be this. I think I can do this, and this person's in charge. I can do it better. And instead of, once I got to that management level and higher upper management level, I realized, let it happen. Be patient, because there's so much more you can learn. Everything you think there's more you can learn.
That's true.
And that's why these people in the top spots, I mean, they don't get enough credit, I think, because people only see a certain part of them, and they don't realize they have so much they're juggling on their plate. But everyone only